The world is a whirlwind. We are bombarded with information. Faith feels more complex than ever. It is a maze with many paths. Some lead to light, others to confusion. We yearn for certainty. We crave solid ground. But the ground seems to shift beneath our feet. How do we navigate this labyrinth? How do we find the path to true belief? The answer, as it has always been, lies in discernment. We must learn to distinguish truth from falsehood. We must cultivate a spirit of wisdom and understanding. This is the journey of faith in our time. False doctrines are not always blatant. They often come disguised as truth. They whisper promises of easy solutions. They appeal to our desires for comfort and convenience. Take, for instance, the prosperity gospel. It tells us that faith guarantees wealth and success. This is a distortion of true doctrine. It preys on our material desires. It neglects the core message of sacrifice and service. Similarly, the rise of moral relativism undermines the foundation of truth. It suggests that right and wrong are subjective. This erodes our ability to discern good from evil. It leaves us adrift in a sea of uncertainty. We must be vigilant against these subtle deceptions. We must hold fast to the unchanging truths of our faith. Our world is obsessed with speed. We want everything instantly. This mindset seeps into our faith. We seek quick fixes for spiritual growth. We crave instant enlightenment, but true faith is a journey. It requires patience. It demands perseverance. It is not a microwavable meal. It is a slow-cooked feast. The pursuit of instant gratification hinders our spiritual development. It prevents us from experiencing the profound joy of gradual transformation. It leaves us perpetually dissatisfied, always chasing the next spiritual high. We must embrace the beauty of the journey. We must learn to savor the process of growth. The modern world worships the self. We are bombarded with messages of self-importance. This can infiltrate our faith, leading to a distorted view of our relationship with God. We may begin to see faith as a means to self-fulfillment. We may prioritize our own desires over God's will. This subtle shift can lead to a faith devoid of true humility. True faith requires surrender. It demands a willingness to put God's will above our own. It is not about self-promotion. It is about selflessness and service. We must resist the temptation to make faith about ourselves. We must remember that true faith is centered on God. Truth is under attack. Relativism reigns supreme. This philosophy claims that truth is subjective. It denies the existence of absolute, unchanging principles. This mindset has profound implications for faith. If truth is relative, then all beliefs are equally valid. There's no room for objective truth claims. Faith becomes a matter of personal preference. But without a solid foundation of truth, faith loses its meaning. It becomes adrift in a sea of subjectivity. It offers no anchor in the storms of life. We must reaffirm the existence of objective truth. We must hold fast to the unchanging principles of our faith. Our world is saturated with superficiality. We are bombarded with images of curated perfection. This leaves many longing for authenticity. We crave genuine connection. This hunger for authenticity extends to faith. We yearn for a faith that is real. We desire experiences that are genuine and transformative. This desire is valid. True faith is not superficial. It is a deep and abiding relationship with God. It is rooted in sincerity and humility. We must seek out communities and practices that foster authenticity. We must cultivate a faith that is genuine and deeply personal. Section 7. The power of true doctrine, anchoring belief in timeless truths. True doctrine is not restrictive, it is liberating. It provides a framework for understanding the world. It offers guidance for navigating life's complexities. Doctrine is not merely a set of rules, it is a tapestry of interconnected truths. It reveals the character of God. It illuminates the path to salvation. In a world of shifting sands, doctrine provides an anchor. It keeps us from being swept away by the currents of popular opinion. It grounds us in the unchanging truths of our faith. We must delve into the richness of true doctrine. We must allow it to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. Section 8. The inner sanctuary, cultivating a spirit of discernment. The world is noisy, distractions abound. It is easy to lose sight of our inner sanctuary. We must cultivate a spirit of discernment. We must learn to distinguish the voice of God from the clamor of the world. Discernment is not merely intellectual. It is a spiritual practice. It requires stillness. It demands attentiveness. It involves listening to the whispers of the Holy Spirit. In the silence of our hearts, we can hear God's voice. We can discern His will for our lives. We can find clarity amidst the chaos. We must prioritize time for solitude and reflection. We must cultivate the inner sanctuary where God's voice can be heard. Section 9. The call to courage. Standing firm in a shifting landscape. The world is constantly changing. Faith can feel precarious. We may be tempted to compromise our beliefs to fit in. But true faith requires courage. We must be willing to stand firm in our convictions. We must be prepared to defend our faith with gentleness and respect. We must not be swayed by the winds of popular opinion. Courage does not mean arrogance. It is rooted in humility. It acknowledges our own weaknesses. It relies on God's strength to overcome challenges. We must find courage to live out our faith authentically. We must be prepared to face opposition with grace and conviction. Section 10. The tapestry of faith. Weaving together belief, action, and community. Faith is not merely a set of beliefs. It is a way of life. It is a tapestry woven together with belief, action, and community. Our beliefs should translate into action. We are called to live out our faith in tangible ways. We are called to serve others. We are called to make a difference in the world. Faith is also communal. We are not meant to journey alone. We need the support and encouragement of fellow believers. We need to share our struggles and triumphs. We must strive to live out our faith authentically. We must engage in acts of service. We must cultivate meaningful connections within our faith communities.